The Old Testament, Deuteronomy, chapter 28. If you diligently obey the message of the Lord your God, if you observe and practice all his commands that I impose on you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. All these blessings will come upon you and overtake you. If you obey the command of the Lord your God, you shall be blessed in the city and blessed also in the fields. Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, the fruit of your soul, the fruit of your cattle, the harvest of your animals and your flocks. Blessed shall be your basket and your dough. You shall be blessed when you go in, and you shall also be blessed when you go out. The Lord will bring down before your face your enemies who rise up against you. They will go out against you on one side and flee before you on another. And the Lord shall command blessing to be with thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou shalt set thy hand to. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. The Lord will make you a holy people to himself, as he has sworn to you, if you keep the commands of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. Then all the peoples of the earth shall see that the name of the Lord is invoked upon thee, and they shall depart from thee. The Lord shall make thee rich in goods, in the fruits of thy body, in the fruits of thy cattle, and the fruits of thy soil, in the land which the Lord swore to give to thy fathers. The Lord will open to thee his good treasure, that is, heaven, to give rain to thy kindred in due season, and to bless all the work of thy hands. And thou shalt lend to many nations, but thou shalt not make thyself chargeable. And the Lord shall make that thee the chief, and not the tail. Thou shalt be alone, and shalt not be beneath, if thou obey the commands of the Lord thy God, which I command thee to this day to observe and put into practice. But you shall not forsake any of the words that I command you today, either to the right or to the left, to go after other gods and serve them. But if you do not obey the message of the Lord your God, to observe and put into practice all his commands and prescriptions that I command you today, all these curses will come upon you and kill you. You shall be cursed in the city and cursed also in the fields. Your basket and your dough will be cursed. The fruits of your body and the fruits of your land, the increase of your animals and the flock of your sheep will be cursed. Thou shalt be cursed when thou goest in, and cursed also when thou come out. The Lord will send you curses, trouble, and shame in everything you put your hand to do, until you are destroyed and perish quickly, because of the wickedness of your works with which you have forsaken me. The Lord will cause the pestilence to pass over you, until it has consumed you from the land where you go to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with consumption, and with fever, and with agony, and with erosion, and with the sword, and with the blast, and with the mildew, and shall pursue thee until thou die. Your skin that is outside your head shall be burned, and the earth that is beneath you shall be scorched. The Lord shall give thee, as the ray of thy earth, dust and ashes, and from above shall descend upon thee, until thou be destroyed. And the Lord shall bring down before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee by the other 2 ways before them, and shall be scattered through all the kingdoms of the earth. Your chariot shall be eaten by all the beasts of the air and the beasts of the earth, and no one shall escape them. The Lord will smite you with botched of Egypt, with the hemorrhoids, with the scab, and with the itch, so that you cannot heal. The Lord will smite you with madness, blindness, and asthenia of the heart. Moreover, thou shalt not go groping to anyone as a blind man. Go groping in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. Thou shalt be oppressed with evil, and by further smitten, and no one shall succor thee. Thou shalt take a woman to wife, and another man shall lie down with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not inhabit it. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not eat its fruit. Thy oxen shall be killed before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat of them. Thy cattle shall be carried away violently before thine eyes, and shall not be returned to thee. Thy sheep shall be given to thy enemies, and none shall have save them for thee. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be delivered to another people, and thine eyes shall continue to seek them until they fall away, and there shall be no strength in thy hands. The fruit of thy land and of all thy labor shall be eaten by a people whom thou knowest not, and thou shalt only suffer wrong and violence, so that thou shalt become mad for the sight which thine eyes shall see. And the Lord shall smite thee in thy knees and in thy fingers with a plague which thou shalt not be able to heal, from the sole of thy feet unto the top of thy head. And the Lord will bring you and your king, whom you have established outside yourself, to a nation that neither you nor your fathers have known. And there you will serve other gods, wood and stone. And thou shalt be a wonder, a cause of boasting, and a cause of discussion among all the peoples, whither the Lord shall bring thee. You shall bring much seed into the fields and reap little of it, for the gatherers shall destroy it. You shall plant a vineyard and cultivate it, but you shall not drink the wine or gather the grapes, from the worms will eat them. You shall have olive trees in all your coasts, but you shall not feed on the olive tree, for your olives will fall. You shall beget sons and daughters, but you shall not have them, for they shall go into captivity. All your trees and the fruit of your land shall be devoured by the grasshopper. The serpent that is in your midst shall draw near to you to come upon him, and you shall go down under the water. He will lend to you, and you will not lend to him. He will be the chief, and you will be the lukewarm. Moreover, all these scars shall come upon you, and they shall pursue you and surprise you until you are destroyed, because you have not obeyed the command of the Lord your God to observe his commands and his prescriptions which he has given you. And they shall be for you signs and wonders, and for your descendants forever, because thou hast not served the Lord thy God joyfully and heartily. For the abundance of all things, therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies, whom the Lord will send upon thee, in hunger and thirst, and nakedness, and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he has destroyed thee. The Lord will bring upon you a nation from afar, from the uttermost part of the world, flying as swiftly as an eagle, a nation whose language you will not understand, a fierce-looking nation, which will have no regard for the old man and no compassion for the young man. He will feed on the fruit of your cattle and the fruits of your land until you are destroyed, and he will leave you neither grain nor wine nor oil, nor the harvest of your land, nor the flock of your sheep, until he has reduced you to nothing. And he shall besiege thee in all thy cities, until thy strong and solid walls, in which thou dwellest in all the land, fall down. He shall besiege thee in all thy cities in all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruits of thy body, that is, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, during the siege in the straits, in which thy enemy shall encircle thee, so that the man who is tender-hearted among you may grieve for his brother, and for his wife lying in his bosom, and for the rest of his children that are left to him, lest any of them should eat of the flesh of his children, for there is nothing left for him in that siege, and straight with which your enemy will besiege you in all your cities, the tender and gentle woman among you, who will never venture to set the sole of her foot on the ground because of her softness and tenderness, shall be smitten by her husbands lying in her bosom, by her son and her daughters, and by her postpartum, which shall come forth between her feet, and by her children whom shall bear. For when all the things shall be spoiled, she shall eat them secretly during the siege and the straits with which thy enemy shall besiege thee in thy cities. If thou shalt not observe and put into practice all the words of law which are written in this book, and thou shalt not fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, the Lord will make wonderful your plagues and the plagues of your descendants, that is, great plagues and of long duration, and painful diseases and of long duration. Moreover, he shall bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, with which thou wast afflicted, and they shall heal thee. Every disease and every plague that is not written in the book of this law, the Lord will smite you to destruction, and you shall remain few in the number, whereas you were like the stars of heaven in great numbers, because you would not obey the message of the Lord your God. And as the Lord intervened on you to do you good and multiply you, so he will intervene on you to destroy you and reduce you to nothing. And you will be uprooted from the land where you go to possess it. The Lord will scatter you among all peoples, from one end of the world to the other, and there you will serve other gods, whom you have not known, nor your fathers, like wood and stone. Moreover, in the midst of these nations, you will not find rest, nor will the soil of your feet have rest. For the Lord will give you there a trembling heart, looking to return until your eyes fall out, and your sorrowful soul. Thy life shall hang before thee, and thou shalt fear night and day, and shalt have no assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, if God were the dawn, and at sunset thou shalt say, if God were the dawn, for the fear of thy heart, which thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. And the Lord shall lead thee again into Egypt with ships by the way of which you said unto thee, thou shalt not see him any more, and there thou shalt sell thyself to thine enemies as slaves and bondwomen, and there shall be no escape. Chapter 29. These are the words of the convention which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab. Next to the convention which he had made with them at Horeb, Moses called all Israel and said to them, you have seen all that the Lord has done before your eyes in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh, and against all his servants, and against all his land, the great temptations your eyes have seen, the great miracles and wonders. Yet the Lord had not given you a heart to perceive, eyes to see, and ears to hear until this day. I have led you for 40 years in the wilderness. Your garments have not grown old upon you, neither has your linen grown old upon your feet. You ate no bread, nor drank wine, nor drank alcohol, to make you understand that I am the Lord your God. After you had come to this place, Sihon, king of Heshbon, and Og, king of Bashan, went out against us to fight, and we defeated them. We took their territory and gave it as an inheritance to the Reubenites, the Gadatites, and the half of the tribe of Manasseh. Observe therefore the words of this leader and put them into practice, that you may prosper in all that you do. Today you are all standing before the Lord your God, the leaders of your tribes, your elders and your officers, all of you of Israel, your sons, your wives, and your stranger who is in your kamna, from those who cut wood to those who draw water, that you may enter into the camp of the Lord your God, and into the order which the Lord your God makes with you today, to constitute thee this day as a people unto himself, and to be unto thee a God, as he had said unto thee, and as he had sworn unto thee fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I do not make this covenant and this other covenant with you alone, but both with those who are here with you today before the Lord our God, and with those who are not here with you today. For you know how we dwelt in the land of Egypt, Now we pass through the midst of the nations that you passed through. And have you seen their abominations and their idols, wood, stone, silver, and gold, that were in their midst, so that there may be no man or no woman, family or tribe among you today who turns his heart away from the Lord our God to go and serve the gods of these nations, and so that there may not be among you any who produces gall and worms, so that when he hears the words of this curse, he may bless himself in his heart, saying, I will have peace, though I walk according to the obstinance of my heart, thus adding drunkenness to the thirst. And the Lord will not be merciful to him, but then the anger of the Lord and his wrath shall be kindled against that man, and all the curses written in this book shall be kindled upon him, and the Lord shall blot out his name from under heaven. And the Lord shall separate him from all the tribes of Israel, according to all the curses of Conan, written in the book of this law. So the generation to come, that is, your children who will arise after you, and the stranger who will come from a far country, will say, when they see the plagues of this country and its diseases, which the Lord will smite it. All that the land shall burn with brimstone and with salt. No seed shall be sown, nor shall any fatness be brought forth, nor shall any fatness grow therein, as in the case of the destruction of Sodom and of Gomorrah, and of Admah, and of the destruction of Sabeom, which the Lord destroyed in his wrath and anger. Then all the nations will say, why has the Lord done this to his land? How fierce is this great wrath? They will answer, because they have forsaken the covenant which the Lord, the God of their fathers, made with them when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. And they went to serve other gods and worshipped them, gods whom they did not know and who had given them nothing. Therefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land, to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. And the Lord uprooted them out of their country in the wrath and anger and great indignation, and cast them out into another country, as it appears today. The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the revealed things belong to the Lord and to our children forever, that we may put into practice all the words of this law. Chapter 30. Now, when all these things have come upon thee, either the blessing or the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt be converted in thine heart among all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath made thee to go, and you shall return to the Lord your God, and obey his message, and all that I have commanded you today, you and your children, with all your heart and with all your soul. Then the Lord your God will bring back your captives, and will have compassion on you, and will return to you, gather you from all the peoples where the Lord your God has scattered you, even if you are cast into the remotest part of the island. The Lord your God will gather you up and take you away from there. The Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land which thy fathers have possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and it shall give thee prosperity and multiply thee in comparison with thy fathers. The Lord your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your descendants, that you may love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, that you may live. The Lord your God will hurl all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you and persecute you. Therefore return and obey the measures of the Lord, and put into practice all his commands that I have given you today. The Lord your God will make you abundant in all the works of your hand, in the fruits of your body, in the fruits of your cattle, in the fruits of the land of your riches. For the Lord will turn again to you and do you good, as he did to your fathers. Because you will obey the message of the Lord your God, keeping his commands and his prescriptions that are written in the book of this law. When you return to the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, For this commandment, which I command you today, is not hidden from you, nor is it far away. It is not in heaven that you may say, who shall go for you to heaven and bring it and cause it to be heard, that we should do it? Nor is it beyond the sea that you may say, who will go beyond the sea for the us will bring it and cause it to us to hear it, that we may do it? But the word is very near you, it is in your mouth and in your heart to do it. Behold, today I have set before you your life and good, death and dying, and that today I command you to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, to keep his commands and his laws, that you may live and multiply, and that the Lord your God may bless you in the land where you go to possess him. But if your heart turns away, so that you do not want to obey, but you let yourself be seduced and worship other gods and serve them, today I declare to you that you will surely perish. You will not prolong your days in the land where you pass to possess it. Today I call heaven and earth to report against you, for I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that you and your descendants may live, listening to the Lord your God, obeying his commandments and abiding in him. For he is your life and the length of your days, that you may dwell in the land which the Lord swore to give to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Chapter 31. Then Moses went and spoke these words to all Israel, and said to them, Today I am 120 years old. I can no longer go out and come in. Even the Lord has said to me, You shall not go out from this border. The Lord thy God shall go before thee. He shall destroy these nations before thee, and thou shalt possess them. Joshua will go before you, as the Lord has said. The Lord will do to them what he did to Sihon and Og, kings of Amorites, and to their land, which he destroyed. The Lord will deliver them to you, that you may do to them what I have commanded you. Therefore, open your hearts and be strong. Do not fear or be afraid of them, for the Lord your God is with you, and will not forsake you. Moses called Joshua and said to him before all Israel, Be strong and courage, for you shall go with this people into the land which the Lord swore to their fathers to give them, and which you shall give them as an inheritance. The Lord himself goes before you, he will be with you, and he will not forsake you, nor fail you. And Moses wrote this law, and delivered it to the priest, the son of the Levi, who carried the ark of the Lord's covenant, and to all the elders of Israel. And Moses commanded them, Every 7 years, when the year of deliverance shall be the feast of the tabernacles, when all Israel shall come and present themselves before the Lord your God in the place which he shall choose. You shall recite this law before all Israel, that they may hear it. Gather the people, men, women, children, and your stranger, who is within your gates, that they may hear, learn, and fear the Lord your God, and observe all the words of this law, and that their children, who have not known it, may hear it and learn to fear the Lord your God, as long as you remain in the land where you are going to possess it. Then the Lord said to Moses, Behold, thy day is come, when thou must die. Call Joshua, and stand in the tabernacle of the congregation. Then I might give him charge. Moses and Joshua went and stood in the tabernacle of congregation. The Lord appeared in the tabernacle in a pillar of cloud, and a pillar of cloud stopped outside the tabernacle. And the Lord said to Moses, Behold, you shall sleep with your fathers, and this people shall rise up and go warring after the gods of a foreign land, where they are going to dwell. And they shall forsake me and violate my covenant that I have made with them. Therefore in that day my wrath shall be kindled against them, and I will forsake them and hide my face from them. Then they shall be consumed, and many hardships and tribulations shall come upon them. Then they shall say, Are not these tribulations coming upon me, because God is not with me? But I will certainly hide my face in that day, because of all the guilt they will commit, because they have turned to other gods. Therefore write this song of yourselves and teach it to the children of Israel. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be my testimony against the children of Israel. For I will lead them into the land which I have sworn to their fathers, flowing with milk and honey. And they shall eat, and they shall become unclean and fat. Then they shall turn to other gods and serve them, and they shall despise me and violate my covenant. And when my many adversities and tribulations come upon them, afterward they shall answer them to their faces as a testimony, that it shall not be forgotten by the mouths of their prosperity, for I know their imaginations, that they make their way even now, before I have brought them into the land which I have sworn. Moses therefore wrote this song on the same day and taught it to the children of Israel. Then God gave Joshua the son of Nun a charge and said, Be strong and good of courage, for you will lead the children of Israel into the land that I have sworn to them, and I will be with you. When Moses had finished writing the words of this law in a book, until he had finished them, Moses gave an order to the Levites who were carrying the ark of the Lord's covenant, saying, Take the book of this law and put it inside the ark of the colonnade of the Lord your God, that it may be there as a testimony against you. For I know your rebellion and stiff-neckedness. Behold, I am still alien with you today. And you are rebellious against the Lord. How much more so will you be after my death? Gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their presence and call to report against them, earth and heaven. For I am sure that after my death you will corrupt yourselves and depart from the way I have prescribed for you. Therefore hell will come upon you, because you will commit unrighteousness before the Lord, provoking him to anger by the works of your hands. So Moses spoke in the presence of the whole congregation of Israel the words of this song until he had finished them.